Hey everyone, it's Army Gaming. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Monster Legends. Welcome to a monster analysis on the brand new, the very first Metropolitan monster, Super Dream. The brand new Dream Team monster. Alright, let's get into it. We're going to go over the lore and then we're going to check out the monster stats. This is my first time seeing this monster, anything about him, so I'm really excited. Dream, Sapnap, and George Not Found were at Sapnap's house getting ready to try out the new game together. At the count of 3, we all press play, said Dream. 1, 2, 3. That's when everything went dark. For a short eternity, the three friends were trapped in pitch black nowhere, and then the lights came back on. But they weren't in the same room anymore. They could hear other voices inside their heads, but they had all ended up in completely different places. George Not Found had landed in a gigantic city that was surrounded by monsters of all kinds. It wasn't until someone riding a bike scared him or stared at him and yelled, "Cool glasses." Then he realized he was a whole new blue self. Yes. Sapnap had been less lucky than George. He had landed in hell. How unfortunate. There he was in the middle of hundreds of demons. Thankfully, he wasn't too hot, maybe because he had turned into a flame in tights. And then there was Dream, who had found himself in Monstervania, only that he had no idea what Monstervania was. He too had transformed into a new self, a superhero like his two friends, but for him, his transformation felt familiar, like he had gone through something similar in another life, the Corrupted Era. What has happened, and now have the three friends ended up lost and spread all over the universe of Monster Legends. First they'll have to find each other, then they'll have to find answers, which will go into the lore and why SP is planning to release a lot of lores with these monsters. So let's go down and let's take a look at Super Dream. Oh wow, I was not expecting him to be so muscular. Wow, he is buff, he's tough, he's way stronger than his corrupted counterpart, visually. Alright, Super Dream, there we have him. Alright, first impressions, let's see. The life stat, is that 300,000 at rank 5? Okay, let's go down. He's a nature controller with stun and blind skills. He has an evolving trait. At rank 0, he's immune to possession. At rank 1, he becomes immune to poison. At rank 3, he gains immunity to stun at the start of battle. So he'll be immune to possession and stun at rank 3. Alright, scrolling down, so here we have his stats at level 100. So his life stat is 110,989. Wow, that is a huge buff. So currently in the game, the monster with the highest life stat is Dark Uma with a life stat of 98,020. 98,000, okay, to 110,000. That is a huge difference. Wow, that's enormous. The power stat is 9,680. Compare that to Lord Nabotus and Gobslayer, who have the highest power stat of the Corrupted Era of 8,800. So we're talking about an 800 power stat difference. That's quite significant as well. And the speed stat is 7,392, which is considerably faster than the fastest corrupted monster in the game, Qiaolong, who has 6,754. So just to go over them again, from top to bottom, life, power, and speed. Previous highest life stat, Dark Uma, 98,020. Then Lord Nabota's Gobslayer, highest power, 8,800. And then Qiaolong speed stat, 6,754. So this is definitely a huge buff. And who knows whether this is on the high end, the lower end. What about Super Dream's friend? What kind of stats are they gonna have? Is he on the slower end? Is he on the faster end? What's gonna happen? So this is literally our first look at what the stats are going to be. In terms of the trait, we went over it. This monster starts the game off with immune to possession. I just noticed that possession is lowercase, and then it doesn't matter. Alright, so he's immune to possession at rank 0. You can't possess him. At rank 1, you get immunity to poison, which in my opinion is not one of the better traits to have. I guess if anything, it protects you from getting your damage output reduced by 20%. And then at rank 3, you get a self-stun immunity, meaning you cannot be stunned. In terms of relics, this monster is going to hold the mask and the banner. That makes sense that he would hold the mask. The banner, I feel like we haven't seen monsters holding the banner for a while, so it's pretty cool to see SP bringing that back in. Books, he is in the Electro Patrol, Superheroes, and Adventures. Alright, so let's go into his skills. So we always start off with the basic skills. Dreaming Butt. Deals moderate nature damage to one enemy and applies blind to one enemy. 30 damage, 0 cooldown, 24 stamina. X-Ray doesn't work, deals low nature damage to all enemies and applies blind to all enemies. 15 damage, 0 cooldown, 30 stamina. So far, nothing too interesting. Let's scroll down. Bucket of Lava. I'm surprised this is not fire damage. Deals moderate nature damage to one enemy, applies stun, so it is your single target immobilize the enemy with a 36 stamina cost. We have Pufferfish in the water, deals moderate nature damage to all enemies and poison. It's your AoE poison attack on a 1 turn cooldown. And then tier 2 skills, we have Become the Hunter. Deals heavy nature damage to one enemy, applies daze and poison to all enemies. I gotta say, I actually like this skill because even though you single target one enemy monster, the effect is to the whole enemy team. It's an AoE effect, so the enemies are going to be dazed and poisoned. Daze reduces damage output by 25% and reduces accuracy by 25%. But on that chance that the enemy still hits you, their daze, which reduces the 25%, and the poison reduces an extra 20%. So that is going to significantly reduce the amount of damage the enemy can deal against you. I like that a lot. Grab on the head deals moderate earth damage to one enemy and applies stun twice to one enemy. So he is a nature monster that does have one earth-based attack. Maybe we'll see more later on. And I like this too because it is double stun. This helps you actually land stun on monsters that have the hardened trait, the tough trait, or even the bullrug trait, because it's 2 chances to land the stun. So you have a single stun, and then you have a double stun as well. And then tier 3 skills, we have Fake Discs, applies daze and blind to all enemies, requires cooldown. Ooh, this one does not deal any damage. Has a 3 turn cooldown, 48 stamina cost. The reason this cooldown is so high is because daze and blind. So once again, daze, accuracy reduced by 25%. And then blind, 50% accuracy reduction. So chances are if the enemy is dazed and blind, they're going to be missing their attacks against you, especially if they try to dish out an AoE against you. And then we have Final TNT Blow. Deals low nature... Oh, I was not expecting that. Deals low nature damage to enemies, applies stun to enemies. It's so funny because sometimes the skill names don't really match up with what they do. Final TNT Blow sounds like your final attack, you're going to go down and do something crazy. But nope, it's an AoE stun skill. So it did mention he's a nature controller, so that means he's going to rely on, or his purpose in the game, his role in the game is to immobilize the enemy. It's so funny, once again, he looks like he'd be a strong attacker. He looks like he'd be extra damage, gives himself a damage boost, extra churn, you know, like attacks twice to the enemy, AoE. I don't know, he looks like he could knock out like one punch knockout or something. But nope, he's a denier, he's a stunner. Alright, so it's hard to say right now how you should ruin this monster, what you should use them. The thing about new monsters being released is that because of the stats increase, a lot of times they can be used as attackers. Once again, his power stat is 9,680, compared to that to 8,800 from Lord Nabotis and Gobslayer. So incredibly high power stat. This is how when Master Rat was released, even though he's a support monster, he was being used as an attacker, not to mention Unrelenting Assaults made him really usable as an attacker. So it's hard to say how this monster is going to be used. Conventionally though, he is a denier, in which case you would 3-speed him, and you would just AoE stun the enemy, or you would 2-speed team speed and have someone running first to get rid of enemy Megataunt, using a Corrupted Monster with Dispelling Fist, just get rid of Megataunt and then AoE stun. And it's a lot easier to do with a high base speed like this. You can go 1 speed, 2 team speed maybe. Yeah, I mean, he's AoE stun. Yeah, if you're using him as a denier, if you're not going to run any strength runes on this monster, I would give him AoE stun, I would give him daze and blind, and then I would do the AoE daze and poison, because there's some situations where you'd rather poison than blind, I think. But usually it's going to be, you're going to final TNT blow, follow up with fake discs, and then you're going to single target. So that's when you would run your double stun. Gravel in the head, and there's double stun when you need to. And then let's see, blind to all enemies. Oh, X-rays doesn't work. I would probably run that too because it's 0 cooldown. So if I had to choose a skill set, final TNT blow, fake discs, gravel in the head, and then I'd go with the AoE blind. Some players might argue you go with the stun, both stun skills, but I think having 3 stuns is too much. Keep in mind that once you stun a monster, they can't be stunned again. Yeah, but ultimately it's up to you. We're going to have to wait and see how this monster is used. If you decide to use this monster as some sort of an attacker, then you definitely need Become the Hunter, because that's your strongest single target attack. But we will know more. 3 babies versus villains. Removes positive effects from all enemies. Applies Mega Stun, Total Blind, and Poison to all enemies. Wow. So, positive effects are gone. Mega Stun stops the enemy for 2 turns. Total Blind blinds them. I don't really know why they would need it if they're going to be stunned. But I guess if you're going up against someone that can be stunned, like Super Dream versus Super Dream, at least then he'll be blinded and then he'd be poisoned. And then somewhere later along the line, you would daze and blind just to reduce their accuracy. Yeah, I guess you can do that. So, Ultimate is honestly whatever for me. It's Mega Stun, that's cool. The monster seems very basic, and that's normal, I think. It's kind of like when the first Cosmic monsters got released. The skill sets were very vanilla, very basic, but it's their stats increase that made them significant, right? Same with the Corrupted monsters. When Corrupted monsters got released, the skills went basic again, but the talents just changed everything. So we're going to have to wait and see what Beasts do and Street Talents do. To know whether or not this monster is really good or not. Because right now on paper, it's like, I don't know. He might be good, he might not be good. Skills, nothing too interesting. Although I will say, the fact that SP is already putting double stun on a monster and daze and poison, daze and blind, it does make me wonder, what are they going to bring later along the line? So with that being said, guys, this is our first look and analysis on Super Dream. I'm sure we will be getting some information for the other monsters. If anything, we got to see the stats. I will say that emblem right here is really, really cool. I love that emblem. That looks tight. And I think that's going to be it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think about Super Dream in the comments below. Thank you very much. And remember to subscribe.